UFC Vegas 80 is coming up next weekend, and guys, today I'm going through the entire card, and I have 3 fighters from that card in particular who I hope get the win. Regardless of my bets, regardless of my picks, I'm going to be sitting down and I'm going to be cheering for these fighters to win, and I'm going to tell you why. Hear me out, and I'd love to know if there's any fighters in particular on the card that you would like to win. We're going to talk about those fighters in just a second. Before we do, though, I do want to say hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Kyle. I'm your guy with too many YouTube channels. Let's talk about these fighters. So I'm going to go from 3 to 1 here, and the first fighter is going to be Drew Dober. It's mostly because Drew Dober, I love and respect the amount of work that this guy has put on. This guy has consistently fought even outside the top 15. You got to think about those killers outside the lightweight division, right? Even in the rankings, he's taken on guys like Islam Makhachev. He's taken on guys like Bobby Green. He has taken on top talent absolutely everywhere, and I would love to one day see Drew Dober just put together an insane win streak and get ranked in the division. Well, he's been ranked before, but you get my point. And get ranked in the division and kind of make his way towards a title fight, because Drew Dober could slug it out with the guys at the top of the division. Could you imagine a Drew Dober versus Justin Gaethje fight? Could you imagine a Drew Dober versus Michael Chandler fight? Those would be absolutely amazing. And I actually thought that Drew Dober was on his way to making it to the top 50, or I keep saying top 15, but he's been bouncing back in and out of that. So I was thinking that he was going to make it to the top 10 because he's looked fantastic until Matt Frevola just put an absolute stop to that. So I'm very worried for Drew Dober because we finally saw that iron chin get cracked, and we never know what's going to happen when you step back in. But nothing against Ricky Glenn. I just hope Drew Dober wins, because I would absolutely love to see him make his way up the division and fight some of those contenders. But let's talk about somebody that I like personally, and that's going to be Joe Pyfer. I'm cheering for Joe Pyfer this weekend. Guys, Joe Pyfer, I really, really like the guys, and it's almost sad to say this because you don't see it too often. I love and respect the guys who are so outspoken in this sport about being grateful for their opportunity that Dana White and the UFC has given them. This dude he's been open about his struggles. He's been open about how the UFC is saving him. He's been open about how his life has had a complete turnaround. And first of all, it takes guts to say that, but it also takes even more guts to say that in an environment where the entire world's kind of like, oh my God, UFC and Dana White's so evil, right? They don't pay their fighters. But this guy's so sitting here, he's fighting, he's making his money, and he's like, I am so grateful to be in this spot. I can't help but just like a fighter and cheer for a fighter that does that. He had his whole, I don't remember if it was his last fight or a couple fights ago, but regardless, he spent his entire Octagon interview just thanking everybody for being there. I absolutely love that. Like, how can I not cheer for that guy? How can I not cheer for Joe Pyfer? So I worry about him in this fight. He should win this fight, but I'm excited to see him. I will be probably cheering for this guy, especially in the middleweight division, where it's like, I love Robert Whittaker, but other than that, like, there's not too many guys to be really, I'm not saying like there's nobody to be a fan of. I'm just like, nobody in the middleweight division that I'm really paying attention to as much as Joe Pyfer. So I'll probably be cheering for this dude all the way to the top, to be honest with you. He has potential too. So I would really, really like to see him continue his win streak. But guys, the fighter that I'm going to be cheering for the most, there's one fighter that stands out, and that's going to be Alex Morono. Alex Morono, and I talked about this in my full card breakdown video. This dude has been flying under everyone's radar. I really, really like, first of all, he's always putting on exciting fights. He has such an underrated skill set. It's a pleasure to watch this guy fight. I love watching him come in. He's been saving countless cards too. This dude comes in on short notice, just fights, and gets a win. Like, that is awesome to see. It's almost reminding me of but not nearly to the level of Cowboy Cerrone back in the day, where it's just like, hey, we need someone to come fight. Alex Morono available? He comes in and he wins. I love seeing that. It's just really, really hype for me. This dude has put together a very nice win streak, and it's been completely under the radar because he doesn't really do social media. He doesn't really talk crazy on the mic. He just comes in and fights. I love watching Alex Morono fight. I love his skill set, and I think he's going to beat Joaquin Buckley, and I'm very excited to see that. I'm very excited to see Alex Morono perform. So guys, those are the 3 fighters that I'm going to be cheering for the most at UFC Vegas 80. It's going to be Drew Dober, it's going to be Joe Pyfer, Alex Morono. Regardless of my picks and bets, I'm going to be sitting down, I'm going to lay back, I'm going to be hoping that these guys win. Are there any fighters on the card that you would like to see get the W this weekend? Let me know down below, and thank you so much for watching, everybody. If you are new here and you enjoy the content, please consider hitting the like button, help the channel a ton, and subscribe if you are brand new. On the screen right now, you'll have 2 videos from the Clenbat channel. If you'd like to continue watching, I will see you either there or in the next video, guys. Take care.